Uh, Again, welcome to that Violent channel. I didn't schedule this live tonight because, that's right. They're still watching. Great. I didn't schedule this live tonight. Last few times I scheduled them, something has come up. So I figured tonight, if I can do it, I just go ahead and just do it. Excuse me. And, I did one yesterday. I had a problem with the audio. It was very scratchy. I think I got that resolved now. So, hopefully the video is a lot better than it was yesterday. So, but yeah, what I want to do is go ahead and this is going to be, showing some records that I bought today. I bought 4 records today, as well as, some more Kiss albums from my collection. I got 2 people watching here. Everybody, how y'all doing tonight? So, yeah, let's go ahead and get started real quickly here. So I went to 2 record stores today. One was Jesse Carl's, which is right down from where I work. And right across the street from them is an antique store. And there's an area of records over there. I go there every 4 or 5 months. The guy gets in new stuff over there. So, I hop in there and I check. So, I did get 4 records, 2 at Jesse Carl's and 2 over at the antique store. So, the first one that I got was, this one here, which is, Playboy. Let me get out of the plastic. That might help a little bit. So, plastic over there. So this is Playboy Street Rock. So it's a compilation album. You know, I need to back up a little bit. I think I'm a little close to the. There you go. So anyways, yeah, Playboy Street Rock. I didn't know Playboy even put out any records. I don't know if y'all knew that Playboy put out some records or not. But this is from 1981. It's a Canadian pressing. And basically has just a bunch of it has Kick-Axe, which I know that group, but the rest of them I'm not familiar with. It looks like it might be some Canadian bands, but it's pretty cool rock album. So I picked it up for $7, not bad. So I picked that up and picked up Berlin. I have a bunch of Berlin 45s, but I don't have any Berlin LPs. And so I got this one at a pretty good price. It was in really nice shape. So I went ahead and picked it up. My first Berlin, LP that I have in my collection. And the other 2 that I got across the street are interesting. This one is, still sealed. I think it's from 76. I think it says 76 here on the back. But this here is, a 3 Dog Night. And, so, although it was $10, but really that's not bad for it. This is Coming Down Your Way is the name of the album. I have 2 3 Dog Night albums. I don't have this one. So I know 3 Dog Night put out several albums, like what, 4, 5, 6 maybe. So, and I have 2. So this would be my 3rd, but it still seals. So that's pretty cool. So anyways, I picked that one up. And then the big buy is going to be this one here. It's going to be Y&T, Down for the Count. So Y&T is a metal band from I think they started in the 70s actually. They went through the 80s. I was introduced to them, excuse me, maybe about 2 years ago, and I've slowly been picking up albums here and there by Y&T. I think I have 4 now, and so this one makes 5. Either 3 or 4. This one makes either 4 or 5, but I didn't have this one. So yeah, but I really like Y&T a lot. So far, haven't had any bad albums by them. So I was pretty excited to get this. It was really nice shape on the A&M label. So it was a little bit high. It was $25, but honestly, Y&T stuff on eBay and Discogs goes for at least that much, if not more. So because I haven't been buying Y&T here and there. I mean, I've seen Y&T up to $50 on some other albums. So I didn't think that was too bad, especially for the condition that the record appears to be in. And the cover's in really nice shape too. So, yeah, so I picked up that. So that's my, stuff that I picked up today. So let's go ahead and, get to, the Kiss albums. And, these are Kiss albums that give me some water here. So these are Kiss albums, for my collection. I have 2 other videos up where I'm showcasing, Kiss albums. So this is going to be my part 3. I have enough probably for 2 more parts, but I'm probably just going to window that down to just one more part. Some of these albums are duplicates, just different years. So maybe weed a few of those out and maybe get it down to this video and maybe part 4, and that'll be it. So that's where I get started. So this here is interesting. So this is a recent buy that I picked up. So this here is I was told it was a bootleg, even though when I bought it, I didn't realize it, because it says it's King Biscuit Flower Hour. And I mean, it does look like a King Biscuit release, and King Biscuit is not bootleg in my opinion. It's a radio broadcast, and those aren't bootlegs. But anyways, so this is from 1984. On the back it says live in Boston, but researching is a lot of people saying that's actually it was in Texas. It wasn't in Boston, but it was in 1984. So it's a concert from 1984. It has Creatures of the Night, Detroit. It says Detroit, but it must be Detroit Rock City. I Love It Loud on side A, and Love Gun, All Hell's Breaking Loose, and Lick It Up on side B. Some great tracks there. So I'm really excited about getting this. Not only do I like, I collect King Biscuit Flower Hour. I have about 6 different broadcasts by them from different groups, Supertramp, and a bunch of other ones, but the Kiss too. So it's pretty cool. So I picked up that. This one here is one I got for Record Store Day. I think this year in April, but it's a rockology release. It's Eric Carr. And this is the picture disc. So the year before that, they had the regular album that was I didn't pick up that album, but this here is the picture disc of it, and so it has stuff from Eric Carr. So pretty cool. There you go. I actually already played this already. It was actually really nice. It sounded pretty good for a picture disc. You know, I know there's a lot of people out there that just talk crap about picture discs, but you know what? I've had really great picture discs, and I've had picture discs that are really bad. So yeah. We're going to go ahead and go on to the next record here. I don't see anybody in the chat room, so that's okay. And maybe it's just a bad time of night. Everybody's eating dinner, right? But I know a lot more people watch this after the broadcast is over, so that's fine. So this here is one of the 2014 40th anniversary reissues that they put out. I know they put out a whole bunch of reissues on 180 gram vinyl in 2014. I have most of them. This here is this is the debut album, right? The very first album, and yeah, it's on black vinyl, 180 gram, but it is the 2014 40th anniversary edition of this. So pretty cool. Have that. This here is also pretty awesome. This here is a black vinyl, right? Yeah. So this here is the, I could take out the cover because I think it's a gatefold. And it also has the a hype sticker that I kept, so I'll show you that too. Here's a hype sticker here, but it's the Kiss Greatest, the 25th anniversary edition, 2LP on 180 grams. So it's color vinyl. Oh yeah, I think it's like really dark color. I think they're like brown. You know, they look black in the wrong light. I thought that was really weird, like a dark red, dark brown color. It says here it's on color vinyl, but yeah, it was a really great album. So it's on a gatefold. So I'm not sure if the light's the best in here for this. I think y'all should be able to see that. So there you are. And again, it's like Kiss Greatest. So yeah, a pretty good record. It's a double LP. It has a bunch of their hits on it. So we're going to put that back on the plastic real fast, just to keep it nice and tidy. If I can do it without much time or effort. Come on, go in there. Sometimes you just don't want to go back on the plastic. You know what I mean? So, come on. All right, I'll leave it on top. Not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. So the next one here is going to be, I'm not really sure when this came out. I bought this around 2013, I think. I think that might have been when this came out, or 2012. No, it came out in 2012, didn't it? This came out in 2012. I think I bought it in 2013. So I think this is one of the original pressings that came out when it was very first pressed and released. But it's Kiss Destroyer Resurrected, which is a really great version of Destroyer. They remastered all the songs. Some of them got remixed. One of them got, I think, a few of them got re-recorded. I don't think all of them did. I know Beth did. Got re-recorded. I'm not sure about the rest of them. I thought someone said that what's the Flaming Youth was got re-recorded, but I listened to it recently, and I don't think it got re-recorded. It may got remastered, but to me, it's the same recording as on the original Destroyer. I'll listen to it, so I think it's the same recording. But anyways, either way, it's a really great album by them. Kiss Destroyer Resurrected. So we have that, and so this here is also interesting. A lot of people I may not even know about this release. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the plastic here too, so I can open it up and show you the gatefold. I'm going to have a lot of albums to put back on the gatefolds out there. I'm done with this. But put that over here on the side if it won't fall off the table. Okay, so put the get rid of that. Maybe put the records over here because I don't want the records. All right. So anyway, so this here is called The Many Faces of Kiss. So this is a series of records they put out about 5 years ago. I've got quite a few of them. I have the one for Genesis. I have the one for Elton John. I have the one for I think they did it for Black Sabbath. So I have several of these The Faces of series. But this is The Many Faces of Kiss, a journey through the inner world of Kiss. Basically, what they've done is they've gone back. It's kind of a mishmash of stuff. They go back and they find old songs by some of the people that produced or were in the band, or stuff they did before they joined the band, or stuff that people associated with the band did, and then they would go forward and then they would do covers that other bands would do. So it's pretty cool. And show you the inside here of the cover. I hope there's enough light. Man, it's kind of dark in here, isn't it? Anyways, hopefully there's enough light there for you all can see that. And but yeah, so this has a Detroit Rock CD by Heikeman. I Want You, Groove Studio All Stars, Love Gun by Mystic Force, I Was Made for Loving You by Last Pharaoh, Creatures of the Night by Willow Wisp, Come On and Love Me by Loaded Dice. So all these different bands did these covers. And then they have songs. They have Ain't Gonna Die, Bruce Kulick featuring Gene Simmons, Johnny's in Love, Richie Scarlett featuring Ace Frehley. So stuff like that. But it was a really cool compilation. They mainly did them on a different color vinyl. This one was on I think like a yellow and reddish marble vinyl, which is pretty cool. It's a double LP. So, but you know, it's a really cool series. So, I especially like the Many Faces of Kiss. Very, very cool. So, picked this up last year. This is the Kiss icon. I wasn't going to do it because, you know, I have lots of Kiss greatest hits, but I think they might have had this for $15 over Christmas, I think. So that might have been why I picked it up. But it's also on this great white and black gray marble vinyl too. But this is just the greatest hits. So another one. So, but Kiss icon, a Walmart exclusive, very cool. Have a double platinum here that I picked up at a used record store. And I'm not all that familiar with the different versions of it. I do know that it has this sticker on the back here. I don't know if you can see it now, but there's a sticker that's on the outside. It looks like it came off of something. Maybe someone took it off the plastic, or maybe it was a promo copy. I don't know, but it has a sticker here that has the track listings on the back. So it has that. Not sure if you can make that out, but it has the typical inside for this. And it also came with, I think it did, didn't it? Yeah. It came with, this ordering form. I know, with Kiss stuff, people like these inserts that come with the Kiss albums. So this one came with this, original order form. So Kiss wants you, $5 per year. Join the Kiss Army. Yeah. So it has the back ordering stuff. You can order a logo shirt. You can order pretty cheap though. I think their pricing here. Well, you would think there'd be pricing. I don't see any prices. Anyways, but that came with it, so that was cool. And so had the typical silver label for the album. So, but I'm not sure of the year of this pressing, but I think it's an earlier pressing of it. Pretty cool stuff. One thing about Kiss reissues and Kiss greatest hits and stuff like that, they always try to do remasters and make the songs a little different to get people to buy the album. It can't be the same exact song that's on the hey Beat, how you doing tonight, Beat? And we got DeAndre here. Hey Boz, quite a few Kiss albums. I appreciate that. So hey everybody, it's good to see you. So I'm using a new camera tonight. It won't let me highlight the text. I am reading them though, but it should be a lot better quality of video than what I've done in the past. But anyway, we have Kiss Double Platinum there. So how you feeling, Beat? How's your cold coming along? I still have still clear my throat. It's still a little scratchy. Hey Deandra, good to see you. So yeah, I have my chat window over here on the right. So anyways, what else do I have here? I have an original Gene Simmons solo from when was this? 79? Is that when these came out? So or 80? So but I have the Gene Simmons here. So I have all of them in the box set. Trying to shake off the cold. Yeah, no, I still have my cough. So yeah, I know what you mean. Today I was at work and just coughing my head off at my desk. But anyways, yeah, so got the solo album here, Gene Simmons. Here's something that I picked up recently. It's really, really cool. So this here is Kiss Alive 35. Okay, I just picked this up from Rollin' Rex. Rollin' Rex is a really great place to pick up Kiss bootlegs if you're into bootlegs. I mean, they're constantly getting them in. And so I look at a lot of them. Most of them I don't pick up, but this one really intrigued me. So this is from 2008. I think it was recorded in Hamburg, Germany. And found my cough drops. All right. Yeah, I got my cough drops here somewhere. So anyways, what this was is this is a concert, and they have what's called Instant Live. Okay, and what it is you go to a concert and you watch the concert right then and there, and in the background somebody's recording this concert right off the soundboard. And when the concert's done, about an hour afterwards, they have CDs of the concert ready from that concert. A lot of times you pre-order them online when you're buying your tickets. You check the box, you say that you want the live CD, and so you go up there and they hand you the CD. I don't know if you can buy them right there or not. But anyway, so it's very cool that they have these CDs right off the soundboard just an hour after the concert's over, and you can take that concert home with you, which is really, really cool. But someone took one of the CDs and they pressed vinyl with it. So it's on gray vinyl. It's three albums, gray vinyl, but it has a lot of songs on here. And so this is the 35th anniversary of Kiss Alive. So it has a lot of songs from the Kiss Alive, the very first Kiss Alive album. A lot of songs from the very first two albums on it. Very well done. Impressive quality. Whoever took that CD, which is of course a digital source, and mastered it for vinyl and put it on it, did a very good job, because I had a hard time figuring out that it came from a digital source. It just was that well done. So, but anyways, it's just a very good CD. A very good record, that is. So, very, very impressed with that. So I have a couple others here that are really, really cool that I picked up a couple years ago. So two records, part one, part two. These are both bootlegs, from the Psycho Circus concert around 1999. Both the color vinyl, one's white and one's red marble. So, Psycho Circus World Tour. and they both have different pictures on the front. Now, unfortunately, the quality of both of these are really not that great. So sometimes you get bootlegs and, the volume is low and it's not that great. You got to crank up the volume to hear it. And that's what it is. Bootlegs are what bootlegs are, right? You buy a bootleg, you don't know what you're going to get. You can't complain. Still here? Yeah, Beat, I got you. I agree. I'm still here too. So yeah, you never know what you're going to get when you get these bootlegs. So, but it's a concert from the excuse me, the concert from the Psycho Circus tour. By the way, if anyone wants to chime in, I'm using a wireless mic. I think I fixed the problem with it being scratchy from yesterday. If you can let me know how the volume is, I really, really appreciate it. So, anyways, yeah, it's a concert from the Psycho Circus tour. So it has a bunch of songs from that tour as well, a bunch of other songs. It's also interesting. Again, it's 12 LPs. All right. So what's also interesting is there were some concerts where people were taking laser pointers and love the artwork. Yeah, I know, awesome. Laser pointers and pointing it back then, not in 1999, 98. Laser pointers were really big, and they were taking laser pointers and they were at concerts and shooting them up at the people on stage. So somebody got, I think they got Paul Stanley in the eye. And there's a couple of concerts where he was really reaming out whoever did it and telling him he's a mommy's boy and needs to go home. But that's actually captured in this concert, and you can hear it. So it's pretty cool that one of those concerts from back then that I read about is actually got captured on these albums, because you can hear Paul Stanley really, really reaming this guy out that had whoever has the laser pointer, and your mama needs to take you home. It's really, really cool. So oh, good. I appreciate it. So this here is another Kiss another 2014 40th anniversary remaster. I picked up for Dynasty. So it's just on black vinyl. So all those were on black vinyl. They weren't done on color vinyl. None of them were. But first U.S. vinyl pressing since 1985. So it came with a poster. I cut the poster out. It's supposed to mimic the original stuff that came with the album. So they did a really good job with that. You can even buy a Kiss pinball machine. Who's up for that? Hey, Beat. Let's pull our money and see if we can buy a Kiss pinball machine. What do you think? So they still have Kiss Army. They definitely do. Yep. I mean, you know what? Since they are now retired, I don't know. I know the Kiss Online store is still there, so I would expect that the Kiss Army is still around. So because they're still selling records, so even though they're not making any new records, they are still making records, huh? So some weird message flashed on my screen. Anyways, yeah. So again, this is another 2014 remaster. I will save up my bottle returns. Yes. There we go. Me and Beat are getting a Kiss pinball machine. You watch. So this here is a really cool album. I'm sure if you're a Kiss fan, you probably know about it. I first found out about this in high school, probably around 81, 82. That's probably when this came out. It's called Kiss Killers. Okay, I'll take it out of the plastic here so you can get a better look at the well, it's still in plastic, but that's okay. Kiss Killers. And so this was never released in the U.S. They never released this in the U.S. And this had, I think, isn't that Eric Carr? I think Eric Carr was in the band at the time. I believe that's Eric Carr's picture there. But this is like a greatest hits. But you know what? It was released, I think, only in 3 countries. It was released in Japan and Germany and the Netherlands. This is a Netherlands copy, pretty sure. And but it wasn't released in the U.S. Now, I saw this because let's go. Yeah, definitely. So I bought this originally, not this copy. I picked this up about 5 years ago. But I was in Peaches with a friend of mine in high school. Now, we love going to Peaches on the weekend. If you've ever been to Peaches Music, it's like it was a huge record store. And about the size of an Albertsons. Imagine a record store about the size of an Albertsons. I mean, they had everything under the sun as you could think inside this record store, right? And they had cassettes, and eventually they had CDs. They had a pretty big section. Elder was Kiss. First name with Gene Simmons. I don't know what that means. Beat. I have Elder. It's not here. It's not here, but I do have Elder. I think I have. I might have the 2014 remaster of that. I'm not sure. Yeah, I love Peaches. Huge store, but they had a pretty big area of imports. And I would always go over there and dig through this stuff because sometimes they would have different covers of records that were being sold in the U.S. and stuff that you wouldn't find here. And so that was the very first time that I ever saw Kiss Killers was in Peaches. It was I don't know if it was this copy, the Netherlands copy or the German copy, but I did buy it. But I sold all my records whenever I went into the military, including this album. But I bought it again recently, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. So it's a real nice copy of the record. So, not for the U.S. market. So it has stuff that you may not Nowhere to Run, Partners in Crime, I'm a Legend Tonight, which might have been hits overseas instead of in the U.S., but that does have hits here too, as Cold Gin, Love Gun, Started Out Loud, Sure Know Something. By the way, is the light okay? It's kind of dark in here. I don't know if the light's okay, if y'all are seeing stuff I'm doing. But anyways, I have a pretty good camera, so I think it's compensating. So anyways, yeah, so it's a really good album. Kiss Killers has, it's the greatest hits, but it has stuff that you would not normally find in the greatest hits. Like I said, it was not for the U.S. market. So I have Kiss Crazy Nights, a great album. Took a chance on this one because copies are going for a lot of money, and I had this on CD, but I never had it on vinyl before. So I wanted to get it on vinyl, but I was looking for copies of it. It was going for $35, $40, $45. I was really reluctant to spend that kind of money on that. So somebody had this copy that I'm holding here in front of me. Lighting is fine. Okay, Beat, I appreciate it. Somebody had this copy on eBay. Had it for $25, I think with $4 shipping. So altogether, $29, which is really not bad for this album. It's even more now, by the way. I bought this about 2 years ago. But the guy didn't have, one thing about eBay is sometimes you see people selling things and they don't have a condition of the record. They say condition used. Used is not a condition, it's a state. Tell us the condition. Is it VG, VG plus, EX, near mint, something about the condition. But the guy had some pretty good pictures up of the vinyl, luckily, in good light. So I was really closely examining these pictures he had. But he had no condition. The album was $25, $29 with shipping, which is a good price for it, about $10 cheaper or $15 cheaper than anywhere else I can find it. And the guy said that the cover had some ring wear, which it did, but it's very minor ring wear. But overall, for what I paid for, I was very happy, and I got it in. I was very worried. I was like, you know what? Since the guy didn't have a condition, I really can't complain. But I watched it and I played it, and it was really in really nice condition. It really sounded really great, so I really lucked out on it and getting it for a good price. So. Anyways, the next one here I have is a bootleg that I got from Juno. Juno.uk.co is a great place also to find some radio broadcast bootlegs. Excuse me. Radio broadcast bootlegs. I picked up quite a few of them over the I've been shopping with them for about 10 years now. So I pick up a couple albums here and there. shipping has gone way up with them, so I've been buying a lot less. It used to be just $5 for one album from the UK shipping, but now it's like almost $12 for one album. But this is the archive legendary songs from the early days. It's a bootleg, and let's see if I can open it up and get the track listing here. Shout It Out Loud, Cold Gin, Strutter, Black Diamond, Calling Dr. Love, King of the Nighttime World, Deuce, Tears Are Falling, Lick It Up, Talk to Me, Is That You? So that's the track listing. From what I remember, it was a really good radio broadcast. I don't know who did the broadcast. It doesn't say, but it's very good live. Basically, it's a gray market bootleg. So pretty good stuff. And here's another gray market bootleg. Same thing. Bought it from juno.uk.co. This is Kiss, Gods of Thunder. I think they still sell this, but I think only in black vinyl now. I got this one on blue marble vinyl. But legendary broadcast, San Paulo, California, on the 27th of August from 1994. So cool stuff. Again on blue vinyl. You see the blue vinyl. Deuce, Cold Gin, Calling Dr. Love. I was made for loving you, Love Gun, Lick It Up, Got a Thunder, I Love It Loud, Detroit Rock City, and Black Diamond. Awesome list. And this is a really awesome recording. It's very well made. A gray market bootleg. So, but there you go. And we're coming down to the last of it here. So we have not necessarily Kiss per se, but it is Peter Criss. His album Out of Control. This came out about 81, 82, the early 80s, right? I think so. But being a fan of Kiss, you're also a fan of Peter Criss, Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley. It's really Eric Carr, whoever else, the other 4 or 5 people that have played with Kiss over the years. So, and of course, I am a fan of Peter Criss. I have a lot of albums by Peter Criss. So, no, not Peter Criss. I have a lot by Ace Frehley. I think I have 2 by Peter Criss, but this was again came out in I think around 79 or 80. Out of Control, very good album. So it's just mainstream rock, but it's good stuff. Kiss rules. That's true. So who is that? Who is that? Is that I can't see who is that chat's coming from. Oh, I still can't see. Okay, so I got you. Yeah, Kiss does rule for sure. So that's the last one I have. I think this is close to 20 here that I showed today, maybe 18 or so. I have another 20, 18 behind me, probably 25 or more, but I'm going to dwindle that down to maybe 18 or 19. And I have one more broadcast like this showing off some Kiss albums. So, but I'm very grateful for y'all who are watching tonight. I hope I showed you some stuff that maybe you hadn't seen before or hadn't seen in a long time. So, still don't know who this person is. I can't make out his name. I'm going to stand up and see if I can read this. It's such small. So anyways, I got a secondary monitor over here, but it's the text is kind of weird on it. So yeah, but Kiss definitely rules. So if you have any questions about anything else you're collecting, any questions about anything I showed you, general chat in general, I'm open for it. Sorry that I couldn't highlight any of your text and put it on the screen, but when I'm using the software I'm using, it doesn't support it. What's your favorite Kiss album? It's hard to say. They got so many great stuff. Probably Destroyer is probably number one. Actually, I've been wanting to do a video where I do, show the order of the Kiss albums and I'll probably do that by year. So, but probably Destroyer is number one. And second, I don't know, it's probably Lick It Up, and then we have probably Unmasked. I know Unmasked is not a very popular album by a lot of Kiss fans, but you know what? Just You're So European, European, the Two Sides of the Coin, Torpedo Girl, all those songs. I mean, they are really great songs, and they really are very specific for that time. So that album came out around 80, 81. So the songs were period specific, because that's about the kind of music that they're putting out that time. But I do really like Unmasked. I think it's a really great album. I remember buying it. I bought that album from a JM Fields. Who remembers JM Fields? I bought that album JM Fields. It was like $6.99, and brought it home, all excited. And it was probably, but at that time I had, I think, just three or four Kiss albums at the time. I had Destroyer, I had Rock and Roll Over, I had Kiss Live 2, and I think that was, and I had Love Gun. So I had those albums, and so I picked this one up. So adding to my collection. But I played that. I thought that album was so great. Someday soon I need to go through my uncle's vinyl collection. He accumulated as a DJ in the 80s. Yeah, you know what? A lot of record stores there's a record store in Orlando. Live albums. Yeah, no. I just picked up a Live 4 in vinyl. So that's a symphony album. It's great. I have a Live 3, I have a Live 2, I have a Live 1. I have just a ton of bootlegs. I have the soundboards. So I have a lot of Kiss Alive stuff. So you can't beat it. Live in Vegas as well. But anyways, what is it? Troy was talking about here was he's going to go through and look at his uncle's collection. He was DJ. So there's a store in Orlando, a couple stores I know of. One was Rock and Roll Heaven. I actually grew up in Orlando. And, when radio stations go out of business, a lot of times they just take boxes and boxes of these records down to these record stores and just drop them off. And a lot of BJ 105, WDIZ, WJRR, all these stations from the 80s and 70s and 80s, just closed up. And they would take all these boxes of records down to either Retro Records on Bun-B or Rock and Roll Heaven, just drop them off. I don't know if they gave them, they probably bought them, probably just pennies on the dollar for each album. But, it's a great place to find a lot of these records. So I know I think it was a hip hop station recently, maybe 5 years ago, went out of business and dropped off a bunch of boxes. I think 30 or 40 boxes of Rock and Roll Heaven. They put them in the center aisle, all these boxes. Most of them were hip hop. Most of them were 12-inch singles from the 90s. But I spent hours in that store going through boxes. I found stuff even from the 80s. So, it was good times digging through all that stuff. Oh, you're in Daytona. Yeah, Daytona's got a really good record store going down towards the beach. I've been there a couple times. I bought a last time I was there, it's been a while since I've been to Daytona, unfortunately. We really like Daytona, but we moved to Lakeland, so it's even further from Daytona. But we used to hit Daytona over summer. And last time I think I was there twice before, but before that, a summer, I went in there and they had that Van Halen Truth. What is it? Something Truth, their latest album, Van Halen, Some Kind of Truth. They had the Atlantic Sound, I think that's it, yeah. They had that Some Kind of Truth on vinyl. They had it like $25 or $24 back then. If I had known that it was going to go up to $300, $400, I would have bought 2 or 3 copies of it, because they had several copies. But my wife is a big Van Halen fan, and even though she bought it on CD, I really wanted it on vinyl, and and I showed her, hey, I picked up this A Different Kind of Truth, right? That's it. I picked up this on red vinyl. Picked this up for $24 at the Atlantic Sound. Nowadays, that album, and that was a long time ago. Nowadays, that album is going for $200, $300 online. So, but you never know, right? But anyways, haven't been down to Atlantic Sound in a while. We need to plan a trip and go out there and stop at that record store. Recently, we've been going because now we're in Lakeland, so we've been going out and hitting record stores in Tampa. And the Tampa area, St. Pete, Bananas Records, which is awesome. Bananas Records has 2 stores. They had this one huge warehouse, and they have across the street. It's even larger. And last time we went out there, the guy actually allowed me to go across the street and go through this huge warehouse they have. It's not usually open to the public, but because I've been there 3 or 4 times before, I think the guy knew me, and he goes, "Hey, go across the street if you want to, and if you find anything, bring it over here and we'll price it." So I was with my wife. Me and my wife walked into this place, and my wife's eyes went like this. My wife goes, "Holy!" I mean, it was like an airport hangar just full of shelving and records. I mean, it would take us a week to go through that. And we did find some stuff over there, some pretty good soundtracks, including to the Warriors, an original Warriors soundtrack, which is very hard to come by. So I took that over there, and they priced it and they bought it. I think we got like $40, which was a fair price for that soundtrack at the time, anyways. And then they have a retail store, which is a few miles away in the shopping district, and but that's pretty large too. And we spent a couple hours over there as well and picked up some stuff. Oh, cool! Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome when you can find Beatles stuff. I'm gonna step up here. Let me see real quick. Is it over here, or is it? Oh, never mind, because it's down there. I can't find it. But a couple years ago, my wife's great aunt brought us. So they live in Fernandina, and behind their house they have this. They had a shed, okay, and they had a garbage bag, a green Glad garbage bag full of records in this shed. She said that the bag of records had been there at least 20 years. Nobody had even messed with it or touched it. And last time she came down and visited us, she saw the records I had. So she came down again and she brought this. She didn't even tell us. I think she did say that I have something for you all, but she didn't say what. She brought down this garbage bag full. It had about 200 records in it. So I had my work cut out for me because a lot of this stuff was disintegrated, had been waterlogged, water got into it, especially the very bottom of it. Stuff, the 20 or 30 on the bottom was really non-salvageable. But I think I ended up keeping about 50 or so records out of the bag because a lot of it was country and western, folk music that I really don't get into or collect. I think I gave those to the ones that people that somebody somewhere might want. I gave those to Goodwill, and but I kept about 50 of them, and one of them was I think it was the Beatles' second album, and it was she wrote her name, her maiden name. She wrote on the back of the album cover because back then people would write their names on the back of the album covers. And it was the Beatles' second album, and she said that she bought that in Fernandina at a record store that she worked at on the day that record was released, and that she wrote her name on the back of it. So it's cool. They can pass down stuff like that. So I have that, and the record cover is a little bit beat up. Even the record is a little bit. I mean, it's VG plus borderline, but I don't care. It's from my wife's family. It's from her great aunt. She wrote her name on it when she was young. It's very cool to have. It's a very, very cool keepsake to have from your family. They don't have cool record stores where you live. Where you live, Deandra? Have to order online. A place like Discogs and eBay, you get some good deals. What I basically do, it's very hard for me to search for things, and Discogs. Discogs is more for you. Hey, I want to find the Beatles' second album, and you can go out there and find that album and buy it. They don't have a very good search engine for things. So usually what I do is I go out to eBay, has a very good search engine. So I will search for what I'm looking for. I'll browse and browse. Oh man, that's a cool record. I'll find it, and then I'll go to Discogs and see if I can get it for a better price. And I would say 60 to 70% of the time I can find a better price on Discogs than anybody selling on eBay, even though I used eBay to search. So that's a tip for you all if you all are want to do that. Arkansas. Okay. Well, don't know much about Arkansas, but sorry to hear that you haven't got any cool record stores. Like I said, buying online is definitely an option. Discogs has great deals. So sometimes you can find things at Discogs even cheaper than at a local record store. But mainly what I do is I do buy used stuff from Discogs as well. But I would say about 60 to 70% of my used records I buy from a brick and mortar, and almost all the new records that I buy are online because they always have deals online. They always have 15% off, 20% off, free shipping, you name it. As we're a brick and mortar store, it's full retail price. So, yeah, they have a lot B, but don't forget, Jack White opened that record store in Detroit, Third Man Records, and you can go in there and you can actually it's a glass. They actually press records there as well. And there's a big glass pane, and you can see the pressing of the records, and you can stand there and watch them making records, and they have a retail space that you can buy records that they actually press. So it's pretty cool. I've been wanting to go. I think they have that store in Detroit, and they have one I think in Nashville as well. So I've been wanting to check out at least one or the other. The Indra, I think about 140 boxes and all. Yeah, that's cool, Troy. If I were you, I start digging through them and see what you can find. Deandra is asking what websites she recommends. I already talked about Discogs is a great place. eBay, I do buy used stuff from eBay. There's a couple places that also Etsy. Believe it or not, I bought a few used records off Etsy. Mercari is another place that you can buy some used records. I don't buy a whole lot from Mercari because there's a thing where everything is in good condition. It's either good condition or bad condition. That's the only two things. So unless the seller in the comments on the condition, you don't know what you're buying. So that's a bad thing about Mercari. But sometimes they do put in the comments the actual VG Plus, EX, near mint, whatever. But a lot of times it just says good. And if you know anything about condition of a record, especially from a gold mine standards, good is bad. Okay. So I see Mercari, and then the guy says it's in good condition. I'm not so sure about that. So Mercari is good. Etsy's okay. Believe it or not, you can find some good deals on Etsy. There's a one called EIL, EIL. They're overseas in Europe, but they're resellers, very similar to Gem. I don't know if anybody here remembers Gem. So I bought some things from Gem through the 2000s, but Gem finally went out of business. But EIL.com, EIL, is very similar to Gem. So Jack White, yeah. Worked in a record store for over 3 years and know the ins and outs of them. Oh yeah. Well, you know what? I didn't work in a record store, but I've been going to record stores, used record stores, traditional used record stores. Now, I'm not talking about the independent record stores you find today, which are different than the traditional used record stores. Now there, we actually have here in Lakeland, we actually have a traditional used record store. There's none left in Orlando. So what I'm talking about is this, right? When I grew up, you would go to a used record store, and the whole store was filled of nothing but used records. You might find a sealed record from somebody that had brought one in from a birthday or whatever. Okay, fine. But very few and far between. All the records were used. They might have new 45s, top 40, 45. They would sell those. But other than that, all the LPs were used. When businesses like Peaches and Coconuts and Musicland and Sam Goody's all went out of business, it left a big hole where you can buy new records. So these used record stores that remained open started getting in contact with distributors, and they would start selling new releases. Today, all the used record stores I used to go to in Orlando when I was a kid that had just all used records, now it's about half and half. It's half new, half used. There is a record store down the road here called Ink and Needle, and that record store does not get anything in from a distributor's. Everything is used. So it's a traditional used record store, which is very cool. But nowadays you have independent record stores that get things in from distributors as well as having used records as well. So it's a mixture. But growing up, you pretty much didn't have that. You had the new record stores, Peaches, Musicland, stuff like that. And then you had the used record stores, and you didn't have, and wasn't a lot of crossover between the two. So I love the smell of vinyl in the morning. Oh, I do too. So especially on Monday mornings, I work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Monday is kind of like my day to decompress. I'll come in here. I'll take out a bunch of records and I'll spend the day playing them. Yeah, really great. But nothing beats the smell of vinyl any time of day. It doesn't have to be morning. It can be night too, right? It's just, you get that record and you gotta sniff. Got to get that whiff, right? So how about you all? Do you have any favorite Kiss albums? When did y'all start listening to Kiss? Now I started listening to Kiss when I was in the 7th grade, so I was pretty young. So that was around 77. I started listening to Kiss. So right on. Excuse me, I still got a cough. It's kicking my butt. I just can't get rid of it. So yeah. Again, for a lot of these gray market bootlegs, these Kiss, like this one here, like this Kiss Live 35, right? This is a gray market bootleg. This is bootleg, whatever. I picked this up from Roland Rex. Roland Rex is a great place to go out and find stuff like this. There are some places that have these too, but they're almost like a reseller. I'm trying to remember one company, but usually probably what they would do, they would go out and buy it from either Roland Rex or from Juno.uk.co or co.uk Juno. They would buy them from them and then turn around and up the price $20 or $30 and put it on their website. So I kind of stay away from them if you can. MTV Live album. Are you talking about? I think I have that. You're talking about the Unplugged, right? The MTV Unplugged. I have that. I picked it up as an unofficial pressing, but it was very disappointed. It had a lot of surface noise on it. I wasn't all that happy with that pressing. So. They did have Kiss Halloween costumes in the 70s and the 80s as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if today, you can't go down and find them at the Halloween stores. So, of course, growing up in the 70s and 80s, they didn't have Halloween stores like you have today. It wasn't geared towards adults. It was geared towards children. So nowadays, and back then you buy your Halloween costume from Kmart and from TG&Y. But now you pretty much buy them at these specialized Halloween stores. Unplugged, that's it. Yeah, I have it. I have that. I picked it up as an unofficial pressing on red vinyl. I got that from Rolling Rex. Just it's okay. It's not a terrible pressing. It's just I don't know if I can go grab. I'm not really sure where it is. I think it's going to be over here. I know I showed it. I don't really know where it is. I know I showed it recently. So is that it? Here it is. It's right here. So sorry about that, guys. But it's right here. Kiss Unplugged. On red vinyl. Unofficial pricing because the real runs are going for $230. Very expensive. So, but you know what? It just has a lot of surface noise in this. So it just wasn't all that had to do with the pressing of this. So you definitely take a risk whenever you buy these unofficial pressings. I've gotten some unofficial pressings where it was amazing, great sounding, and some of them where it's like, but it's on red vinyl. So, yeah. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not the greatest pressing in the world.